Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Ilham, but you can call me Syafa or Gete. My student ID number is 24103 12110013, and I'm from the Management Undergraduate Program, Faculty of Economy and Business, Lambung Mangkurat University. Today, I will be explaining the writing section in the TOEFL test. Alright, without further delay, let's get right into the material. Okay, let's start with a quick overview of the TOEFL writing section. This is the final part of the TOEFL AVT test. The goal is to measure how well we can express our ideas in writing academic English. There are two writing tasks here, each one a focus on different skill, one combined reading and listening. Well, the other is more about expressing personal opinions in essay format. Next, structure of the writing section. The section has two parts. First, the aggregated writing test. We were given 20 minutes. Here we combine information from our reading and the lecture. Second, the independent writing task, which gives us 30 minutes to write a longer opinion-based essay. Together, these two tasks are scored and converted into a scale from 0 to 30. So, it's important to manage our time and understand what each task expects from us. Alright, let's talk about the integrated writing task. In this task, we go through a few steps. First, read an academic passage. This reading usually takes about 3 minutes, and it's explains a certain concept or argument with a few supporting points. Next, we listen to a short lecture that lasts around 2 minutes. What's important here is the lecturer usually disagrees with the reading. They'll criticize or challenge the main point from the page. Then, our job is to write a summary of what the lecturer said and explain how those ideas relate to the writing. Usually, it's about showing the contrast or disagreements. And here's the key part, we are not allowed to give our own opinions. This is really about reporting information from both sources and explaining the connection between them. Now let's go over a few helpful tips. Focus on the contrast or disagreement between the reading and the lecture. These differences are what you need to highlight in your writing. Use transition word like however in contrast or the lecture agrees that. This helps make your writing more organized and easier to follow. Also, make sure you take good notes while listening to lecture because you'll only heard it once, no replay. So, in short, this start tests how we can understand and connect information from two sources, and how clearly we can explain that connection in academic writing. Now, let's move on to the independent writing task. This one is more personal because here you are asked to write an opinion essay about a topic that's familiar to you. The essay should be at least 300 words, and you are expected to argue clearly for one side of an issue. So, pick your position and stick with a track go the word essay. The structure is simple and easy to follow. First, you write an introduction with a clear statement. This is basically your main opinion in one sentence. Then comes the body paragraphs. Paragraph is one short focus on one main direction that support our opinion. And don't forget to add examples. You can use real life experience, logical arguments, or even a bit of storytelling. Lastly, wrap everything up with a construction where you summary your argument and restate your main point. And just like before, I have a few tips to help you out. Always curious on clear side, don't sit on the fence. Support your opinion with real life or logical examples so it sounds convincing. And of course, be clear and organized to so the reader can follow your ideas easily. The stars really help show how well you can organize talk, argue avoid, and express yourself clearly in English. Okay, now let's talk about something super important, how our writing is actually scored. There are two different types and each one has its focus when it comes to scoring. So knowing what the writers are looking for can really help you write more effectively. For the integrated thoughts, here what they pay attention to relevance and accuracy of ideas from the lecture. We need to clearly explain the main point from the lecture, especially how they respond to our challenge this reading, not adding personal opinion. Clarity and organization. Our wording should be easy to follow, with clear connection between ideas, using transition word like however in contrast, or on the other hand really helps. Grammar and vocabulary. Make sure to use proper grammar and a good strength of vocabulary. Repeating the same word or making grammar mistakes can lower our score. And for the independent tasks, development and support our videos. We need to fully explain our opinion and support it with strong reason and real life or logical examples. Logical structure and character. Our essay should have a clear structure, intro, body paragraph, and conclusion all following smoothly. Language use, variety and accuracy. Just like in the integrated talks, we should use a good mix of sentence type and vocabulary. And of course, grammar accuracy really matters too. So overall, the key to a high score is having strong content and presenting it in a well organized way. Imagine you have a brilliant idea but it's messy and hard to read. Your score one reflects how good your idea actually is. That's why we need to focus on both what we say and how we say it. Okay, let's wrap it up by looking at some common mistakes we should avoid in the TOEFL writing section. First, in the integrated many students make the mistake of copying directly from the reading passage. Instead, we should first to show we understand the content. Second, avoid giving personal opinion in the integrated. This part is about summarizing and covering ideas, not sharing what we think. Third, some essays are written without a clear structure, no introduction, no body, or composing transition. That really hurts the score. And lastly, using limited vocabulary and making grammar errors can make your writing seem too basic or hard to follow. So, by avoiding these simple mistakes, we can make our writing more effective and boost our overall score. Okay, that was the explanation about the software budget section. I apologize if there were any mistakes or things that were unclear. Hopefully, you can understand the material I've shared. Thank you so much for your attention. Bye bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.